The diamond skimmed the cool marble and settled by the sink. No sound, no scene, only rejection, clean and deliberate. She didn't look at me. Her gaze stayed fixed on the window, on the reflection of a life she was already leaving behind. The ring flashed once in the light, then went dull, like everything else between us. "Take it back," she said. That was all. No fight, no reason. I stood there holding my breath, studying the woman I had married. Her shoulders were steady, her hands didn't tremble. This wasn't anger, it was certainty. Something turned inside me. Not a crash, just a quiet click, like a lock finally settling into place. I picked up the ring, not to save us, but to understand when we had already ended. She met my eyes then. There was something in them I didn't recognize. Not guilt, not fear. Relief. That's what I knew. This wasn't the end. It was the start of something far more exact. I didn't confront her, not then. I nodded, slipped the ring into my pocket, and let the silence stretch until it felt comfortable again. For her. That night she slipped easily. I didn't. I replayed what I'd dismissed for months, the sudden privacy, her phone tilted away, trips that left no souvenirs, the way she said my name as if it belonged to someone else. I told myself I was imagining things, that love required trust, but trust doesn't feel like this. Trust doesn't feel like being erased from your own life. A week later, she mentioned a conference, another city, another absence. Casual, rehearsed. I smiled and told her to have a safe trip. She kissed my cheek, a goodbye she didn't know she was giving. I watched her pack, noticed what she took. Lingerie she no longer wore for me, a second phone charger. That night I opened my laptop, not to accuse, to confirm, because suspicion is emotional, proof is surgical. I moved carefully. No dramatic reveals, just patterns. Phone records first, numbers repeated too often, timestamps matching her overtime. I memorized it all. I watched her laugh at texts she didn't explain, heard stories shift each time she told them, learned how well someone can lie when they think you aren't looking. I never raised my voice, never asked the wrong question. At night she slept beside me, breathing slow and even. I stared at the ceiling, tracing the architecture of betrayal. This wasn't about rage, it was about clarity. The diamond sat in my desk drawer. Sometimes I took it out, turned it under the light, thought about what it promised: commitment, permanence, illusion. I hired a private investigator, quiet, professional, no theatrics. I told myself I didn't care what he found. I was lying. The file arrived on a Tuesday. I didn't open it right away. I made coffee, read the news, waited for my hands to steady. Photos, dates, hotel receipts. One image lingered. Her laughing, head tilted toward a man whose name I now knew by heart. I closed the file. That evening she came home late, blamed traffic. I set the printed report on the table between us. No preface, no accusation. Explain this. She didn't cry at first. She stared. Then her breath caught, sharp, panicked. Denial, justification, anger. I watched it all, calm in a way that surprised even me. When she finally understood I wouldn't interrupt, she went quiet. The silence did the rest. I didn't yell. I told her I'd already filed the paperwork, that the shared accounts were closed, that the house, mine before the marriage, was no longer hers. I slid the diamond across the table. I kept it, I said, not for us, for closure. Her face collapsed, shock, then fear. She asked if there was any way to fix this. I shook my head. You didn't break us when you cheated, I said. You broke us when you thought I wouldn't notice. I stood, walked past her, opened the door. The revenge wasn't in punishment, it was in finality. She had lost control of the story. I live alone now. The house is quieter, cleaner. Sometimes I think about the man in the photo. Sometimes I don't. He was never the point. She was, or rather the version of her I once believed in. The diamond is gone, sold, converted into something useful, like truth. I don't hate her. Hate would mean she still takes up space in my mind. What I feel is lighter than that. Nothing, and nothing, I've learned, is the most precise revenge of all.